HTTP session. Introduction. Since HTTP-driven applications are stateless, sessions provide a way to store information about the user. Laravel ships with a variety of session backends that are accessed through an expressive, unified API. Support for popular backends such as Memcached, Redis, and databases is included. Since HTTP-driven applications are stateless, sessions provide a way to store information about the user. Laravel ships with a variety of session backends that are accessed
across multiple requests. That user information is typically placed in a persistent store backend that can be accessed from subsequent request. Laravel is a ship with a variety of session backend that are accessed through an expressive unified expressive shape. It is unified API shape application protocol. What is API? API is the application programming interface. Is like a waiter in a restaurant. So API is the waiter in a restaurant. API, application programming interface. You are a waiter in a restaurant. You the customer ask the waiter for food to make request. The waiter takes your order to the kitchen. So it is the waiter of the restaurant. The kitchen prepare the food and gives it back to you. The waiter brings the food back to you. So you are in a royal society and you requested money from the peasants. So your money collectors are APIs who collect the money from those peasants. You can also view it like that. Simple example, when you use an app like weather.com, it uses an API. So API are you can think application programming interface. You have a face that is you enter, and after entering your programming and applications. API, that doesn't mean a shit, but you want the things, you can view it like it is you are on a you wanted to collect money from those peasants. Your API is the money collector. You can view it like that. That's an API. Laravel ships with a variety of sessions backend that are accessed through an expressive unified API. Support for popular backends such as Memcached, Redis, and database include. So what is a session? Since HTTP driven applications are stateless, sessions provide a way to store information about the users across multiple requests. That user information is typically placed in a persistent store backend that can be accessed from subsequent requests. Laravel ships with a variety of sessions backend that access through an expressive unified API. Support for popular backends such as Memcached, Redis, and database is
accessed through an expressive, unified API. Support for popular backends such as Memcached, Redis, and databases is included. Configuration. Your application's session configuration file is stored at config/session.php. Be sure to review the options available to you in this file. By default, Laravel is configured to use the database session driver. The session driver configuration option defines where session data will be stored for each request. Laravel includes a variety of drivers. File sessions are stored in storage/framework/sessions. Cookie sessions are stored in secure, encrypted cookies. Database sessions are stored in a relational database. Memcached/Redis sessions are stored in one of these fast, cache-based stores. Dynamod sessions are stored in AWS DynamoDB. Array sessions are stored in a PHP array and will not be persisted. The array driver is primarily used during testing and prevents the data stored in the session from being persisted. Driver prerequisites. Database. When using the database session driver, you will need to ensure that you have a database table to contain the session data. Typically, this is included in Laravel's default 0001 underscore 01 underscore 01 underscore 000000 underscore create underscore users underscore table.php database migration. However, if for any reason you do not have a sessions table, you may use the make session table artisan command to generate this migration. 1 PHP artisan make session table. 2. 3 PHP artisan migrate. Redis.
So what just happened here? Configuration. Your application session configuration file is stored at config session.php. Session is a way to provide to store informations about what? About the user across multiple requests. User you are storing user informations. Let's say you are a mercenary soldiers. You are a user mercenary soldiers. Your information is stored using sessions. So in multiple across multiple requests, your information is stored. The application session configuration file is stored at config session.php. Be sure to review the option available to you in this file. By default, Laravel is configured to use the database session driver. The session driver configuration option defines where session data will be stored for each request. Laravel includes a variety of drivers. What is a drivers? So let's memorize these things. That the session driver. So where does that file store? Your application session configuration file. Where does this configuration file store? It is stored in config oblique session.php. Be sure config oblique session.php configuration oblique session.php. No, it is a pitfall. No. Let's view it. In this context, a driver is simply the method. So it is a method or tool Laravel uses to store and manage sessions data. Think of it like choosing a storage box for your session. File driver, cookie driver, database driver, Redis Memcached driver, add driver. So it is like choosing a different kind of shape that you use to hunt, to conquer Britain, like a real medieval Viking. File driver stores session as a file on your server. Cookie driver saves session in encrypted browser cookie. So file driver, it uses files on your server. Cookie driver uses it encrypt browser's cookie. So it is used, I think it is used in browser. Database driver keeps session on your database. It doesn't say it is it storing your session data on file? No. Is it storing your session data on browser? No. Database driver using database, it is storing your session data on database. Redis memcached use fast in memory caching system. I will come to Redis. Array driver temporary storage vanish when script ends. Why does it matter? Performance. Redis memcache are faster than database. Persistence. Database keeps data after restart, unlike arrays. Security. Cookie encrypted data but has size limits. You pick the driver based on your app's need, speed, scalability, simplicity. Short answer, it is like engine behind session storage. So so when to use when what? Let's question this. So when should I use what driver? Can you explain an simple explanation? Is it correct? I don't know. Here is a simple breakdown of what to use each Laravel session driver based on your app's need. File default. Oh, it is a default settings of file. Use cases small project, local development. Easy to set up, no extra software needed. Downside slower for high traffic, disk I/O bottleneck. Cookie use cases stateless app. What is a stateless app? APIs, microservices. Why? Session live in encrypted browser cookie. No server storage. Downside limited size 4 KB. Insecure for sensitive data. Database use case medium large app when you need persistence. Why? Storage session is in SQL, PostgreSQL, scalable, server restart. Downside slower than Redis. Database queries add overhead. Redis memcached. Use case high traffic app, speed critical. So in high traffic app, what to use? Redis, database, cookie, or file. Redis. Medium and large app, what to use? Database. Stateless app, what to use? Cookie. In stateless app, what to use? Cookie. In small projects, local development, what to use? 5. DynamoDB use cases. Serverless Laravel app on AWS. Array use cases. Testing only. Session vanished after request. Why? No percentage. Faster for unit testing. For testing what to use, this will come in your examination. In testing what kind of driver should we use? Array. Serverless Laravel apps on AWS. Quick decision guide. Local development, file or array. Production, low quality, database or file. Production, high traffic, Redis. Serverless, AWS, DynamoDB. API stateless, cookie. API and stateless cookie. API stateless app, cookie. Rule of thumb, use Redis for we expect growth. Database for simplicity, and avoid cookie. Array for production. Need help in production, use array. Okay, now let's jump into the configuration. File, cookie, database, memcached, Redis, dynamos. Okay, so you come here. Driver prerequisites. Database. When you using database session driver, you will need to ensure that you have a database table to connect to contain the session data. Typically this is included in Laravel's default 0001 0101. 0 0 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 0 0 0 0 create user stable.php database migration. However, if for any reason you do not have a session stable, you may use the make session stable artisan command to generate this migration. So php artisan kind of Japanese make session table. Make is a command, session table, php artisan migrate. Redis. Before using Redis sessions with Laravel, you will need to either install the PHP Redis PHP extension via PECL or install the pre-Redis package 1.0 via Composer. For more information on configuration Redis, consult Laravel Redis documentation. Okay, we will do this later. The session connection environment variable or the connection option in the session.php configuration file may be used to specify which Redis connection is used for session storage, interaction with the session, retrieving data. There are two primary ways of working with session data in Laravel: the global session helper and via a request instance. First, let's look at accessing the session via a request instance, which can be type hinted on a route closure or controller method. Remember, controller method dependencies are automatically injected via the Laravel service container PHP. What should I remember? Controller method dependencies are automatically injected via the Laravel service container. Controller method. This is a code PHP namespace app slash https slash controllers. Use eliminate http request. Use eliminate view class user controller extend controller. This is second bracket start public function show request public. This is a public, this is a function, this function name is show. Request is a request. This is a variable. String is a variable string. This is the variable name is id. Hashtag, this is a clone view. This is the third bracket. This is a value is equal to request value is variable value is equal to variable request. This request come from here session get key. So we are getting the session key and we are storing this on value. User is equal to this user's find id returns. We are going to return this user profile user. What is this user? Let's explain this. simple PHP. Hey server, this is a PHP code. Namespace, app, HTTP controller. Below all code below belongs to app HTTP controller folder, like an address for this file. All these land is belong to me. Use imports. Use illuminate HTTP request. I need a Laravel request tool to handle user input. I need Laravel view tool to return HTML pages. Did you understand? Class, user controller, external controller. I am creating a user controller class that inherits all features from Laravel based controller. I didn't get this. I am creating user controller class. I am creating user controller class that inherits all feature from it gonna inherit all the features Laravel based controller. Public function show. This is a public method actions named show that display a user profile. Parameter request, grab the user request data like from input sessions. String id, expect a user's id, e.g. from URL like users42. Okay, view, this method will return an HTML view. 6. Okay, this method will value user returns user profile. Key concept used, controller request views, return HTML pages with the dynamic data. Controllers handle logics routing like traffic cops.